This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. I'm going to show you videos and pictures of Sintra, Portugal, as I discuss why I believe it is a desirable place to consider visiting and possibly even to retire. But don't write anything down as you listen. Everything I say is in writing at Vagabond Buddha with Google Map links. Just click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to get Retire in Sintra, Portugal. Sintra livability factors, Sintra cost of living, Sintra best areas to stay, best tours, walking tour video and map, nightlife, bar hopping tour, nomads in Sintra, digital nomads, Sintra facts and history, Sintra flights, buses and trains, and the best traveler retire cheap in paradise locations in the world. I document all the best places in the world to live or retire cheap. I save money living in cheap places most of the year. This allows me to visit more expensive places on excursions. These excursions are often vacations from my vacation. I'm a digital nomad. Digital means I make money on my laptop over the internet. Nomad means I move forward from one place to the next, only going home once a year or so. Subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or our YouTube channel, links provided, to find out where I go next. I have been to 65 countries so far. I started in 2007, and I've been, also a link to my old travel blog. Okay, Sintra livability factors. Again, everything I talk about on the webpage. Just click the link below this YouTube video and read it or click the links. These are the factors I consider when thinking about whether or not I could live somewhere. 65 countries and hundreds of cities so far. This section of the post reminds me to rank each factor I consider important right before I leave each place. I rank each factor low, medium, or high desirability. Then I rank the destination itself as high, medium, or low, depending on the individual factors and my gut feeling about a place. Every blue moon or so, I compare the high desirability locations to each other and rank them in order. Here goes my ranking for Sintra. Walkability, high. Sintra is very walkable. I'm not a big fan of cars. Internets. It was medium desirability. The buildings are all made of stone here, so make sure you're really close to the router or bring a cable with you to plug in. Food, medium. Great restaurants, but not very diverse in international food choices. Not a surprise for a smaller tourist town catering to people who are there for just a few days and want to focus on regional favorites rather than international diversity. Weather, medium. August is the warmest month with an average high of 78 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius, and it cools down to at night to about 61 Fahrenheit or 16 Celsius. The moderate temperature and cool breezes from the Atlantic Ocean often mean you may not need your AC even during the summer, but the last few years have been reached historically hot temperatures. If that trend continues, AC will become necessary at night. January is the coldest month with an average low at night of 43 Fahrenheit or 60 or 6 Celsius, but often warms in the day to an average of 57 Fahrenheit or 14 Celsius. The rainy season is October through January, when it rains more than 7 days per month on average. Things to do, medium. The city mainly focuses on tourism, so that limits things somewhat. But I'm calling it medium since the landscape is so beautiful and both mountains, beaches, and Lisbon are not too far away. If you are a romantic small town, if you like a romantic small town with excellent foods, beautiful, gorgeous natural beauty, this could easily be high for you. Things to do could be high. Social considerations, medium. Expat penetration, medium. Most of the foreigners are more transient in nature rather than being expats. Real estate, medium. Although cheaper than much of Europe, it is expensive for Portugal. We'll know more about the comparison with other cities in Portugal as the trip continues. Sintra desirability score, medium. I could see myself living in Portugal, but Sintra is a little sleepy for my taste. I view it more as a great weekend getaway. Are you curious where we will go next? Subscribe to Vagabond Buddha. Sintra cost of living. This table is a compilation of my own search and experience while I was in Sintra, along with some data shared by Numbeo, link provided. The data below is static. It isn't updated in real time. Significant inflations since my last visit would render this table inaccurate. That assumes you read this much after my post date. So, to make a long story short, it would range for a single person, not including alcohol, tours, or extras, just your accommodations, restaurants, and transportation around the city, whether buses or Uber. The range is about around $1,200 a month to $2,100 a month, to give you a range. And that's going to depend on whether you like to eat in a lot of high-end restaurants and stay in a not more expensive apartment, or if you're a hostel type traveler. So quite a range there, but the tables here on the webpage, you can read it for more details if you want to see why the range is so large. There's also a one-bedroom apartment, including a 12-month lease, in Sintra is about $700 US, which is about $80 in utilities or $26 per night if you're trying to get an idea of what it costs to live there. We saw a one-bedroom condo posted for sale in a real estate office window for just under 100K euro. But we do not recommend buying until you are positive you will stay for at least 5 years, and that'll probably take 6 months to a year before you'll know that. Please book using our recommended flights, tours, and accommodations. You'll pay nothing extra, but we'll earn a small commission. That will encourage us to keep making these travel guides and videos for you. Okay, Sintra, best area to stay. I've provided a map on the webpage. There's a yellow circle that's surrounded by a red circle. You should stay within the yellow area if possible. If you're healthy and mobile, you can also you can walk paved hills and sidewalks, sometimes that are slippery. You can stay in the red area. It's a little larger area without much trouble. Just check the map out. Uber was up and functioning when we were here. The following recommendations go from most to least expensive. After that, we'll tell you where we stay. Here's an amazing home, just a few blocks from the National Palace. Has a swimming pool, an amazing view, and a beautiful garden. It's pricey, but you'll be going first class. If you prefer to stay in a luxury hotel while you're in town, and that assumes you're a temporary visitor for your first visit, at about the same price as this luxury home, there's a hotel here I would recommend that's in a former palace. Then there's a link for a mid-range hotel in the middle of the action, and then there is a hotel at the lower end for Sintra. And then there's a hostel for the backpacker types that want to visit Sintra. We stayed in the Airbnb, link provided, in a house that in the red zone with a private room and bath and kitchen privileges that was less than a hostel for 2 people. It's a gorgeous house with a lovely family. We gave 5 stars and a very private room. If you're new to Airbnb, please use the code I provide. You'll get a discount. If you're enjoying this, could you please like it, share it, comment below, or subscribe? That would rank us higher in search engines so we can keep making these travel videos and guides. Sintra Best Tours. If you want to take a day tour from Lisbon that visits Sintra, Cabo da Roca, and Cascais, then this one was the best seller, link provided when we were there. But they also have a skip the line ticket I would recommend, and then there's 30 tours total to pick from. Just click the link and browse around, see which ones you're interested in, and those are for guided tours. There's also a self-guided tour here that I created for you. It's Sintra walking tour video and map. There's a map here and an interactive Google map that you click on your smartphone, and start walking. It covers the palaces and castles in Sintra, and there's videos here you can watch to see if you're interested, and you can add or remove items from the tour based on the video, and because it's interactive. Okay, Sintra nightlife, bar hopping, and walking tour and map. I provide you with a map of the Sintra nightlife. Just click the link and start walking and check out the place. It's a small town, so don't expect too much, but this will give you a head start. If you'd like to learn how to make money online or how to live internationally, possibly with less money than you spend at home, please subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or get a free copy of my ebook, link provided on the webpage. Digital Nomads in Sintra, Best Food Experiences. We were here for a week. We never even tried to find a co-working space. We just worked from our Airbnb room when it was raining outside. And when the sun was out, we explored the village. Vagabond Buddha's Kitchen. We cooked most of our own meals in our Airbnb. And it's one of the suggested accommodations above. We were surprised how cheap and great the food was in this grocery store. Link provided. We took an Uber taxi there and back twice. It cost about €6 each way, but the quality was so good, and we saved so much money eating at home when it was raining, and also on some of our lunches. It was totally worth the taxi ride. Since we wouldn't have had a second meal at any of the restaurants we tried, we're not going to mention any of them to you. The best experiences were just walking around and marveling at this magical place. Mainly the walking tour video above. Grab a free copy of my ebook. You'll learn how to save and earn money living internationally. Okay, Sintra facts and history. There's a map here showing where Sintra is in relation to Portugal and some interesting facts. I'm here as I type these words. Sintra is an enchanted city in the Lisbon region of Portugal. Sintra is growing with just under 400,000 people. Sintra is a major tourist destination famous for its picturesque hillside castles and palaces, called within an area the Portuguese Riviera. Sintra is one of Portugal's most sought after real estate markets, international expat communities, and consistently ranked as one of the most expensive communities and one of the best places to live in Portugal. Portugal has evidence of Roman presence as early as 200 BC to about 500 AD, such as road construction techniques and burial customs. Sintra is in an area of Portugal that was controlled by Muslim Spain. Al-Undus describes the area of Spain and Portugal that was governed by Muslims. Parts of what we now call Spain and Portugal were fought over for centuries, starting around 711 AD through the 15th century, often called the Religious Wars. In 1154, Sintra entered a period of stabilized Christian control, but the Islamic influences in construction remain to this day. In the early 16th century, King Manuel I spent summers in Sintra due to its cool climate and abundance of game. Aristocracy began building estates and farms in the region. Sintra became famous when Renaissance poets began writing about its beauty in the 16th and 17th centuries. The 1755 earthquake destroyed the center of Sintra, but it was rebuilt. During the 18th and 19th centuries, Romanticism, fueled by aristocrats and foreign travelers' interest in Sintra, which has remained to this day. In the 20th century, Sintra became a privileged place for artists, musicians, composers, painters, and authors, fueled by all of Sintra's enchanted landscapes, palaces, and castles. Sintra flights, buses, and trains. Buses and trains. In Portugal, Google Maps is getting pretty good at finding buses and trains to move around Portugal. 𝐼RL is also a great resource. Links provided. You can use Google Maps to find bus and subway stops around Sintra itself. Links provided. Lisbon International Airport. You can fly into Lisbon and take an Uber to the train station in Lisbon. It takes about 15 minutes in an Uber to get to the train station and cost 8 to 11 euros when we were there. Once at the train station in Sintra, of course, from the train station in Lisbon, you take the train to Sintra. And then once at the train station in Sintra, the Uber to your place will be 5 to 6 euros. The train itself from Lisbon to Sintra was very cheap. I think it was around 3 euros per person. And I've provided suggested places to stay above. Okay, flights, international or domestic. I always use Skyscanner to book domestic and international flights, link provided. If you allow a range of dates to fly and return, you can sometimes save hundreds of dollars. Get a SIM card for your smartphone when you land in Portugal. Get your phone unlocked before leaving your home country. Thanks for watching this video. Contact us if you'd like to collaborate with us on social media. I started living internationally over 11 years ago. If you'd like to learn how to make money online or how to live internationally, possibly with less money than you spend at home, please subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or our YouTube channel, or get a free copy of my ebook. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Thanks for stopping by. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner?